story. I'm sorry to all of you for this. Aghori story, I got more than one for you. It starts at the age of 3 as far as I can remember, any or all of it. I was in a cage but free. A lot of hot peppers from my father, raw shit. He also taught me how to drive a car on the highway at 100 and said, hold the wheel steady or we'll die quickly. I survived this and smiled, yes. He boiled me a lobster alive for my born day with some rape juice, even though I said, no dad, don't do that shit. And he forced me to eat it and say grace. Screwed up shit, but believe it, God. He was like Jehovah to me, but no witnesses. Now do you know why I flow this sick? I'm that golden kid that watched porn and got drunk when I was still on my mom's breast. My role models for cold training were coke addicts and crack ones. That's facts, son. No Wim Hof method where I was back then. They probably died of an overdose in the cold one day with blue lips. Do you know why I was born as Vishnu back then? I'm in destroyer form now as a Kalkin. But what if I told you I was born queer? Would you call me names? I doubt that. So weird that you dudes are gay as fuck when you pose for pictures with your slavish puppets. And I'm not talking of the goddesses or maidens you lusted for and raped or tortured with your slave auctions you called radio-friendly songs. I read Kafka's Metamorphosis and Poe's complete poetry works when I was 5. I read Ivanhoe too, so I knew about the Knights of the Round Table. But I knew something was wrong cause I saw the dragon inside me. Now I know I actually survived this. I grew up on indigenous myths and lots more. Japanese and Asiatic peoples. Izanami and Izanagi saw me breathe and marveled at all I accomplished. See this? African gods and goddesses and oracles watched me and believed in my odysseys. I fought 2 giants at the same age, football quarterbacks when I was in grade 3. I punched both and they folded in half. Now pray sees this. I joked and laughed after and went to play marbles in the snow with no coat on and no gloves or scarf. That was the middle of winter in Quebec. It goes to -40. Do you know who I am? I am a Mohawk and Ainu, Inuit, Plains, Cree, Métis. I made it farther than the Grays regions of what you thought matters in these strange seasons. I tattooed myself for the first time at the same age. I designed the sword myself and used a big pen to leak in the ink into my thick skin. Traced it with a sharp needle on a pencil compass. I told my only friend, watch this, I could tattoo you too. He was like, you're too crazy, that's toxic shit, it'll harm you. I was like, maybe, who knows? I had my first death wishes back then. I was suicidal often cause I had no actual friends. They all hated me half the time and half to death for being a cocky prodigy with a lot more than half a breath. I was a know-it-all, honestly, I have to admit this. I laughed at the kids that talked of attacking me. That's Kikwaku for you, yes. Dirty Dozen freestyles, my first was around the same age. In a residential school's backyard, with a lot of slaughtered and murdered children's bones underneath us. Do you grasp I'm the omen you do not speak of? I wanted them all dead, those evil and decrepit nuns and nurses that claimed to teach us. They told us native people were deceptive and see-through. Forced us to go to church in the chapel each day, to read false gospels, lies, and decay. With an odd god genocidal whom we'd speak of each day. They called me a child of the devil and strapped my left hand often for writing backwards in a forward sense. That's a prodigy act, that's Asiatic and Islamic actually. When I left that school I went to Jesuits college at the age of 10. No make pretend or fake pretenses. I hated Catholics. I made some friends there after my growth spurt and made some ends as a clocker. They ended up banning me 4 times from colleges for trafficking after. I clocked a rapper in the temple and face named Nas for talking shit to punks. Strange story, he had an alien-sized lump on the side of his head and he skipped college for a while. Then he lied and said, good fight, right? And we became friends. Now that dude just got arrested last week for torturing a guy in his basement for 3 days. Real shit, he leads one of the greatest gangster rap labels in Quebec at this time. See, I could amaze you till you're ill and sick from the realest shit I ever spoke like Tupac. You clever dopes have not a clue of who I am and honest. I'm the one who holds iron to your jaw and clicks it, then clocks you.
Dextah.